The web is evolving fast. In the rush to find your edge, it's easy for creativity to get crowded out. Details blur. The work starts to feel like a sea of sameness. But when your team has the tools to build with intention together, everything shifts. You stop reacting. You start creating.
Collaboration is the heart of great brand teams. And when people can come together in one tool, they really can fly with superhuman strength.
It's not the same stale, boring, monolithic system that we had in the past. This is just innovation after innovation after innovation.
Suddenly, you're not just launching sites. You're crafting experiences that truly stand out, turning your best ideas into undeniable business impact.
With Webflow, we can bring new experiences to market much faster than we ever have before.
It gives us enterprise security. It gives us the ability to optimize the site quickly without having to depend on outside developers. It gives our team the ability to be more agile, to try new things, to continue to be on the cutting edge of what's possible.
It looks incredible. It moves the needle, and it means something to your audience and to you.
Webflow has really empowered us to do what we do best as marketers, as designers, as content creators.
The main thing that Webflow allows us is that we have no limits to creativity.
Please welcome to the stage Webflow CEO Linda Tong.
And welcome to Webflow Conf 2025. To everyone here with us in New York, thanks so much for joining us in person. To those of you tuning in from around the world, welcome. It is so great to be able to gather our entire community like this. We've got 2 full days ahead, and I'm really excited to kick things off. This is such an energizing moment for the web. We're in the middle of a profound shift. And AI is redefining everything from how websites are built to how marketing is done. And more than ever, AI-driven experiences sit squarely between you and your customers, shaping first impressions long before someone ever visits your site. We see it in our data. AI bot traffic to Webflow sites has surged over 125% in the past year. And it's approaching the volume of traditional search engines. This traffic includes LLM crawlers and generative engines scanning your site to shape AI responses. This isn't necessarily a good or a bad thing, but it does mean that the strategies that worked before aren't enough. Because now, your site has to serve 2 audiences: the humans engaging with your brand and the bots that are interpreting it. In this new era, where discovery is rerouted and attention is fragmented, your website can't just deliver content. It has to build trust with people. And it needs to provide the clarity that LLMs need to carry your brand forward. So, how is your site supposed to achieve all of that? First, it needs to make an impression. And that starts with bold design. Not just polished, not just on brand, but bold. Research shows that people form an impression of a website in just milliseconds. That means your site needs to grab attention and hold it. And it's got to do it fast. Another tool to stand out in this era of AI discovery is brand content and voice. So many brands are letting AI define them. But the teams that are the best are the ones that are defining themselves, with content that's clear, consistent, and structured for both SEO and AI best practices. Our own data shows that LLM traffic is now converting at 6 times the rate of traditional non-branded search. This makes having a brand voice that is clear to LLMs a competitive edge. And finally, your site can't be static or generic. It needs personalization. Research says 71% of consumers expect personalized experiences. But let's be honest, okay? We didn't need research to tell us this. We all expect sites to recognize us and respond to our needs. But most people are still landing on the same one-size-fits-all homepage, regardless of who they are, where they came from, and what they need. So that gap between expectation and reality is where momentum and conversion get lost. And all of this adds up to one thing. Your site has to work harder than ever. Bold design and strong voice, personalization, those are table stakes now. And yes, the reason is AI. It's changed how people discover you and what they expect when they land. But AI is not the problem. The real problem is sameness. It's a web full of lookalike sites with the same layouts, generic images, and the same formulaic copy. That is a failure of our own imaginations. And that is exactly where AI can help. By handling repetitive tasks, AI gives us more space to be creative. And it gives us back something we desperately need: time to play. In that sea of sameness, play is what sets the best brands apart. The sites that stand out are the ones that feel distinct, emotionally, visually, strategically. That kind of creative clarity comes from one place. It comes from play. Play helps brands stand apart because it opens the door to innovation. And when we have the space to take creative risks, we discover what a brand sounds and feels like at its best. And that difference is what people remember. Play also creates a space to experiment. That quirky headline that crushed it in A/B testing, that's signal. And that microsite your team made on a whim, that's culture marketing. And that unconventional layout that breaks a few rules, now that is your signature. And maybe, most importantly, play fosters passion. Because people don't burn out from doing too much. They burn out from doing too little that matters. And when teams have the room to explore, they take ownership, they show pride, and they lead with curiosity, the kind that sparks creative and cultural breakthroughs. And that turns your site from a marketing asset into a source of meaning and identity. So, play isn't the opposite of work. It's the spark that makes the best work possible. And when teams play at their highest level, creativity becomes momentum, and momentum becomes growth, and that growth builds a brand that inspires loyalty and trust with your customers. And Webflow is here to help you realize that opportunity, to invite you to play. So, this morning, we're going to walk through a series of playbooks to help your team meet this moment head on. Playbooks that are going to help you build bold brands, create content that speaks AI, and drive personalization at scale. And of course, we will give you some new tools to play with. So, to help your teams reduce drag and unlock creativity, because I know one thing: no community turns opportunity into impact like this one. So, let's play. And if we're gonna play, we need to go big, all right? So, hit it, guys.
Please welcome Chief Product Officer Rachel Wolin.
I don't think I've ever had an entrance like that. Huge thank you to our band, Brass Animals. Let's give them a round of applause. Man, it's so great to be here with all of you today. Linda talked to you about the importance of play. And lucky me, I get to be here to talk about the importance of work. Well, work might not sound like fun, but with the right tools, it can feel a lot more playful. So, as Linda said, we're in the middle of a huge shift. And in a few minutes, we're going to walk you through some new playbooks, some new products, and you guessed it, some new AI tools to help your teams ride this wave of innovation. But before we hop into the playbooks, I want to zoom out a bit. If the last couple of years have taught me anything, it's that the future always shows up faster than we can expect. Moore's Law told us that computing power doubles every 2 years. But lately, it feels like new models are blowing our minds every 2 days. And how can we keep pace with all this change at Webflow? Well, we just keep shipping. This year, we already shipped 40 new features, over 50 tiny but mighty updates, and thousands of performance and reliability updates. And this isn't just because Alan loves the triple ship emoji. He does, let's be honest. But it's because the web is moving fast, and you need a platform that helps you move faster. So a huge part of my job is to think about what's next. And I believe we're on the cusp of 3 major developments in how we build together, and how Webflow will support you as they unfold. First, design systems will evolve into something much, much bigger. We're calling it your brand's operating system. I think of it as your brand's soul. It's more than fonts and colors. It's the full context that a model needs to embody your brand's essence. Customizing messaging, perfecting positioning, delivering novelty. And this is where human creativity matters more than ever before. Second, while humans will always be the guardians of your brand's soul, AI is going to scale it, remixing systems and rules that you establish in a steady heartbeat of your brand. And those hyper-personalized experiences, well, they'll be scaled into a new kind of collaboration. Humans together with AI. The future isn't one brand, one site. It's one brand, infinite expressions. And finally, with this degree of customization and scale comes a mission-critical need for brand governance. Today, it's all pretty manual. Designers and marketers like politely pointing out inconsistencies. But in a world where AI is generating versions faster than any team could comprehend, that's not going to cut it. You need a brain more capable than any human brain to govern how your brand is represented to the world. So here's where I get super excited, because you can already see the foundations of this new way of working taking shape inside the Webflow platform today. We already house your design system, and we've been investing to support every part of your workflow. We host your content with our best-in-class CMS, and we monitor your brand performance with Webflow Analyze and Optimize. We've built native collaboration workflows, and this month, we shipped our brand new roles and permissions capabilities. Let's give the team a round of applause for everything they've shipped so far this year. So yes, the future is hurtling at us faster than we expected. But we're here today to meet this moment together. Last year, we introduced the AI assistant to help with design and copy. And it was a great first step, but it was a very 2024 approach to AI. So this year, we launched an MCP server, giving tools like Claude and Cursor direct access to the Webflow CMS. That opened the door to new ways of creating and managing content with AI. And just last week, we released an MCP server update that interacts with the Webflow canvas as well. But we couldn't stop there. So today, we're going to give you a sneak peek at the all-new Webflow AI Assistant. You want to check it out? Well, it's not a chatbot, it's your agentic teammate with a dash of taste. So you can play while the assistant does the less glamorous work. So who's ready to check it out? Like, for real? All right. So to help with that, please welcome Matthew to the stage. All right, everyone ready? Let's hope that the AI gods are kind to us. Okay, you ready, Matthew? All right, so here is a site for Dataway. It's a little bit plain and could use a few tweaks. Previously, I would have had to make these changes manually. Instead, let's check out the new AI assistant. It's a whole new conversational interface. You just tell the assistant what you want to update, and it'll do the heavy lifting. So I think this hero is kind of meh. Let's ask the AI assistant to rebuild it and rebuild this section from scratch. You can see the assistant taking a minute to gather some context, and then it explains to us what it's doing as it builds. Oh, something's happening. And boom. There we are. Looks great, right? OK, so that was level 1. Let's move on to level 2. So because we're live from New York, let's get wild. What if we want to upload a hand-drawn wireframe? So I sent a photo of something to Matthew yesterday. That was like doctor handwriting, I'm sorry. So let's see how it does. And so while this is building, there are a few differences between the AI assistant and the Webflow MCP server. If it isn't obvious, the assistant is integrated directly into Webflow, and you don't have to use Cursor or Designer extension. The assistant uses our private Designer APIs and has context it needs to make sure its designs are always on brand. And the special sauce is that we've tried to imbue a sense of design that is specific to your brand, not the generic kind that you would get out of the box from an LLM. All right, there we go. Pretty close to the original wireframe, but it's fully editable inside of Webflow. It feels like a magic trick, but it's real. All right, let's add one final touch. Let's add some interactions across the page. So what we're asking the AI assistant to do is fade in all elements on scroll using GSAP. Here you can see the assistant will add the code to the bottom of the page. And if we enter into preview mode, you can see new, buttery smooth interactions throughout the page. Today, we're using GSAP with custom code, and in the future, the AI assistant will be able to generate interactions with our new IX3 timeline. OK, let's give Matthew and his new teammate, the AI assistant, a round of applause. So that's the all-new Webflow AI assistant with an improved UI and more powerful design capabilities. The AI assistant will be available to all customers later this year. And you can give Webflow AI a whirl yourself today through our MCP server. But we're just getting started. So with the help of brass animals, let's dive into our first playbook. Hit it, guys.
To introduce Playbook 1, please welcome Chief Marketing Officer Dave Steele.
Today, marketers are in the middle of a perfect storm. The media landscape has completely fragmented. Social platforms, subscription channels, newsletters, blogs, podcasts. Your audience is everywhere, and they're seemingly nowhere at the same time. Reaching them is really hard. Holding their attention, well, that's even harder. Now look, as a marketer, I know it's so tempting to chase quick wins, those hacks, those gimmicks, anything to capture attention. But the brands that win, those are the ones that keep it. And there's no better place to do that than on your website. So wherever, whenever a person lands on your site, it has to deliver. It needs to tell a clear, compelling story about who you are and why you matter. Because that visitor will decide in an instant, is this for me? And if it isn't, they're gonna bounce. But the challenge facing marketers today isn't just the external challenge of a fragmented landscape. No, it's the internal challenge of fragmented teamwork itself. Too many handoffs, too many dependencies, too many bottlenecks. We call this collaboration drag. It kills speed, drains creativity, and makes it nearly impossible to deliver the kind of bold design your brand needs to stand out. It's really sad to say. Collaboration drag, that's where play goes to die. But it doesn't need to be that way. Our first playbook is all about how Webflow clears that drag, so your teams can move faster, unlock creativity, and make room for play. That secret ingredient behind bold, on-brand site experiences. But first, I have a confession to make. So I'm relatively new in this role here at Webflow, and when I joined just a few months ago, I admit, I did something that every new CMO does. I asked the team to overhaul the website. But it wasn't just about throwing on a fresh coat of paint, I promise. It was about proving that we could work the way that we want all of our customers to work. And that's what this morning is all about. It's not about telling you, it's about showing you. Across our demos, you'll see how we've been using our own and latest tools to eliminate collaboration drag and unlock more creative play, all while rebuilding Webflow.com from the ground up. So, to start us off, please welcome Jess, Alexander, and Kev.
Hi, everyone. Jess here. Anyone building in Webflow with a team is familiar with this ping. While we've done a ton of work over the last few years to make Webflow a more collaborative tool and improve the platform for growing teams, there's one capability that users have asked for again and again and again, and that is real-time collaboration. We announced the beta of real-time collaboration earlier this year. Let's see it in action now. So to help out, I want to welcome out a few of my colleagues, Corey, Nicola, and Christine. Thanks for joining, folks. Okay, here you see that our brand new Webflow homepage that our team has been working on at Dave's request. And as we all know, there's always one more last-minute improvement to make. And with real-time collaboration, every contributor can work on their parts of the site at the same time. We've paid a lot of attention to detail here to make this an exceptional experience for your teams. We've got Nicola from our agency partner N4 working on the nav. And over here, we've got Christine from our marketing team jumping in to make some copy changes. She's completely empowered to do this straight from the marketing role. Ah, look, okay, there we go. Where creativity drives performance, but it actually looks terrible. So we're gonna have Corey over here make some adjustments to the hero section to layout and styling so that it all sort of fits and jives together, and it already looks much, much better. And now, when the team is ready for Dave to review, Matthew can just grab a share link, new feature here, and shoot it to him over Slack. Dave is actually so new that he doesn't even have an account in our workspace yet, but this gives me an opportunity to show you one of my favorite new improvements to commenting. Now you can share a link with stakeholders to gather feedback, even if they don't have a Webflow account, and they can comment directly in the interface without having to sign up. So let's see what Dave has to say. All right, all Dave has to do is put in his name and email address, no complicated login flow. His feedback is to make it pop, which is super helpful. And now we can see that Dave's comment is live in the environment. We launched real-time collaboration in private beta earlier this summer, and since then, so many of your teams have been loving it, which is why we're excited to share it with the rest of you soon. I'm also thrilled to share that comment-only links will be available this year. We're really excited about how these tools will help reduce collaboration drag within your organizations. Thanks so much, team. Next, to talk about some of the amazing new capabilities that your team can use to create bold, memorable designs together, please welcome Alexander.
Wow, thanks, Jess. That was awesome. So, now that we've got our whole team collaborating in Webflow, let's talk about how we make sure that every site we launch is beautiful, engaging, and performant. AI can help people find you, sure, but great design, that's what makes them remember you. And maybe even fall in love a little bit. So, what's the fastest way to do that? Motion. Motion makes an entrance. It stages your story. It guides the eye, and it turns attention into action. And when motion reflects your brand's soul, it doesn't just move pixels, it moves people. Last year, we announced our acquisition of GSAP, and we made the GSAP library completely free. Just a few months ago, we began rolling out our evolution, Webflow interactions with GSAP. Now, Webflow interactions bring that same award-winning animation engine right into the visual canvas. It expands what's creatively possible for every site. Think scroll-triggered movement, split text, staggers, 3D transforms, perfectly timed entrances, all using a production-ready animation library that offers smooth, reliable performance on every browser. Let's check it out. For this demo, we tapped award-winning certified Webflow partner, Joseph Berry, to help us out with the site. Joseph, thank you. You're my dog. So meet Bark Studio. It's a fictional design studio and clearly a winner of the awards site of the year. Woof. That's a good boy. This page, it's full of playful interactions made possible with GSAP. And this is what we mean when we say bold first impressions. OK, let's dig into how Joseph built some of these interactions in Webflow. We've already got some great interactions here, but I think this heading, I think it could be a little more playful. So let's have Matthew add a split text stagger to the H1. Here's our new visual timeline that we launched earlier this summer. And once we're done, we can easily preview the motion right in Webflow. Since we've rolled out interactions with GSAP earlier this summer, we've been working on some updates to give you more granular control over how and when these interactions are displayed. So Matthew applied that stagger effect to the H1 class, but I don't think we want the code of that loading on every page on our site. So here, with our new page scoping, we can target the pages that we want to load on to improve the page performance across the board. Next, we've added the ability to control how GSAP interactions show up across breakpoints. So let's turn off that load animation on mobile to keep things nice and snappy. Great. And finally, we've also introduced a new accessibility feature, and it honors your visitor's system preferences to reduce motion. So far this year, we've launched the foundational Webflow interactions with GSAP for all users. I'm so excited to share that these new interaction controls, like breakpoints and the ability to reduce motion and page scoping, they're going to be available later this month. And you'll continue to see more refinement and updates to interactions, including integrations with animation libraries, starting with Lottie later this year. But this is just the beginning. We're continuing to invest in both the GSAP library and Webflow interactions because we believe that every team deserves access to expressive, performant motion. the kind that turns a functional page into a memorable, compelling experience. So now, to share another tool we've been working on to bring our sites to life at scale, I'm going to pass it over to Kev. Thank you.
Thank you, Alexander. One of the most important parts of building an amazing web experience is the design system. Design systems are the guardrails that lets your teams move fast without losing consistency. They create the structure teams need to play without risk to your brand soul. But creating components that work across pages, breakpoints, variants, and states is just time-consuming. It takes careful attention to detail to implement designs exactly as you've intended it to. And that's time your teams could be spending more creatively. So that's why we're reimagining how we and you can create and edit components right within Webflow. Introducing Component Canvas. This new canvas gives you a dedicated space to design and manage your components outside the page with multiple contexts in a single view. And this starts with variants, which can be designed side by side in what we're calling frames. Cascading changes are immediately visible across every single frame so that you can update structure, styles, and interactions with confidence at scale. And now you can pan and zoom freely while frames are laid out automatically so that you can focus on designing and not on organizing your workspace. We're also making it easier to manage your component properties within a new dedicated panel with automated suggestions to help you set up multiple props in just one click. It's a modern approach to design system management. It gives teams room to be creative without fear of breaking your brand. And Component Canvas will be available to all customers later this year. But what if native components just aren't enough? What if you need that complex interactivity or data integrations, maybe even custom logic that can't be built visually in Webflow today? So I'm super excited to say code components are finally here. You can now use DevLink to import React components from an external code base right into Webflow to use directly in the canvas. That's right, your team's code base right in our canvas. This means that developers can create custom dynamic UI like ROI calculators or interactive charts, maybe even that multi-step form, all using their preferred tools. So let's see it in action. And for this one, we're going to need a little bit of help. Keegan, can we give us a hand? All right, so we have a site here for a gaming company. And we want to add this beautiful carousel to their homepage to show off all of the games in their portfolio. Now, building something like this in Webflow today would require a ton of custom code, which would make it nearly impossible for any non-technical user to make updates or customize the content. Code Components changes all that. Now, your developing team, Keegan, can use DevLink to turn any React component into a Webflow component, offering exactly the same amount of controls your team needs to be able to build visually right inside Webflow. Your teams can configure them using props, slots, and variants, or even connect them to your CMS, localize content, and of course, personalize or A/B test with our optimized product. You can see here that Keegan has already made it possible for Matthew to update number of cards in the carousel, and even increase the overall radius of the carousel itself. But what if we wanted to make it possible for Matthew to update the border radius of each of these cards? Keegan just needs to expose those props and push the updates using DevLink. And in just a few seconds, those updates will be available for Matthew to accept in Webflow. Boom. Now, Matthew can update the border radius of each of these cards in the carousel to better match the site's designs. Code Components empowers everyone on your team to do their best work with their favorite tools. And Code Components expands what's possible in Webflow, and we'll start rolling out today. This brings design and development even closer together. And to wrap up playbook number 1, I'll pass it back to Dave.
All right, thanks, Kev. So we just saw how collaboration, motion, and powerful design systems unlock speed and creativity for your entire team. We got to play with real-time collaboration, and we heard about some of the latest updates to commenting. We saw the power of Webflow interactions to create motion that will capture attention and engage your visitors. And we announced new ways to work with and leverage your own design systems, including the new component canvas and our new code components, all to give you more time to play. Space for play is what makes bold designs possible. But what does it actually look like in practice? Well, Verifone found out. They're a global leader in digital payments, and they needed to launch a brand new website in just a couple of weeks. But they didn't just want to ship something fast. They needed to launch a whole new brand identity, one that they've been really struggling to bring to life on other platforms. So they turned to Webflow, and here's how they did it.
These days, we're expecting speed and scale. And at a global company, if you can't press a button and have great content that's created globally, go out locally in minutes, then you're not acting with the sort of speed and scale you're promising your customers. Verifone's a global company that provides in-person payment technology and devices, e-commerce payment capabilities, applications. Before Webflow, we had rigid, brittle web CMS, wouldn't allow us to execute quickly and at scale. We were shackled by the older technology. We needed to tell the story of the modern Verifone, and we just couldn't do that. Verifone had just refreshed our brand positioning story. We were in a 3-month sprint to get all of our brand assets and content updated, including the website, to make our deadline of 5 major market events. And we were down the path working with a vendor that really wasn't able to keep pace. I was 2.5 months into a 3-month journey. They were missing deadlines, cautioning us that they wouldn't be able to make it, which was just not acceptable. And so with 2 weeks left, we talked to the Webflow team. We thought, okay, it's crazy if Webflow can do this in 10 days. And in the end, when they did, and I got the call saying that the site was live and everything was pushed, it was all global, we couldn't believe it, actually. Webflow won. When we bring boundless payments, that story, to life, it has to resonate. And that means unshackling humans who bring creativity. Because of Webflow, we were able to bring a new brand experience to life in 10 days. It's delivering that brand promise around the world. Webflow had shown us so much progress all along that, frankly, we bet on Webflow.
And now, to introduce Playbook 2, please welcome Chief Technology Officer Alan Leinwand to the stage.
Hi, everyone. How are we doing, friends? Having fun? All right. I'm really excited to be here with you all for another amazing Webflow Conf. And how great is it to spend a few days together in New York City? Pretty killer, huh? All right. Let's give it up for New York City. All right. Earlier, Linda talked about a big shift happening on the web. AI agents are quickly replacing your site as the front door to your business. So this next playbook is about meeting that shift, how we meet that shift by building content for the age of AI. But first, let's talk about the foundation that makes all of this possible. Some of the most important elements of a great website are the least visible, like speed, uptime, and security. And when those things fall short, it's not just frustrating, but it just breaks momentum. Resiliency is critical for every Webflow customer. And our team is committed to delivering world-class reliability and availability for every single visitor. When Webflow experiences performance issues, it doesn't just impact our systems, it affects the way you work and puts your work at risk. We know what that means, and we hold ourselves accountable for delivering for you. Because we know trust isn't something that we'll ever treat as a checkbox. It's something we earn every time you choose to build on Webflow, every time you publish, every time something just needs to work. That's why we made platform reliability a top priority. And as Rachel said, always rolling out infrastructure changes and investing in performance, because we know performance is a feature. But we're not done. We're never done. We're not just building Webflow for today. We're building it for every moment that your business is on the line. Now, that's not work we wanted to do alone. So we partnered with the absolute best in the business, Cloudflare. To share more, I'm thrilled to be joined by the VP of Product at Cloudflare, Rita Kozlov. Good to say we're going to do that, right?
That's right.
All right, there you go.
Hi, Alan. Thank you so much for having me.
We're so excited you're here, Rita. Now, Rita, our teams have been working closely over the past year to move Webflow's hosting infrastructure onto Cloudflare's global network. That network spans over 330 cities across 125 countries and connects directly to 13,000 networks. Every secure connection across Webflow sites now runs through Cloudflare. And as a result, our entire hosting layer is faster, safer, and more reliable than it's ever been.
Faster, safer, more reliable, that's exactly what Cloudflare was built for. Our mission at Cloudflare is to help build a better internet. At our core, we're a global application platform built to help deliver content quickly, securely, reliably, and at massive scale. That's why we're trusted by global leaders like IBM, Shopify, Zendesk, and of course, Webflow.
And that's why we're so excited to partner with Cloudflare. Bring that same enterprise-level resiliency to every Webflow customer on every single site.
That's what this partnership is all about, delivering powerful benefits for Webflow sites hosted on Cloudflare. 99% of Webflow's static assets are hosted from the edge, delivering lightning-fast performance everywhere. Webflow customers on Cloudflare also get built-in protection against DDoS attacks and other threats. And those users can scale instantly from 1 page to 1 million, no setup, no extra costs.
It's awesome. But success on the web isn't just about speed and uptime anymore, is it?
No, it's not. One of the biggest trends we're seeing is the rise of AI crawler traffic from bots like GPT-bot, Gemini, and Perplexity. Now, some of that traffic is valuable for powering AI answers, but it can also create performance overhead, cost spikes, and IP risks for content owners.
That's exactly right. And today, Webflow customers can finally tune their indexing settings by blocking specific bots, managing robots.txt, or even utilizing the new LMs.txt, which we shipped support for this last summer. But our sponsorship with Cloudflare isn't just about infrastructure, although we both love infrastructure. It's about transforming how AI interacts with that content.
Absolutely. At Cloudflare, we believe site owners should control their content. That's why crawlers are now blocked by default unless given explicit permission, giving you direct control over your intellectual property. We're also advocating for standards that require crawlers to declare their purpose so owners can decide what to allow and what to block. Because at the end of the day, your content is yours, and we're committed to protecting it.
That's right. And as your team brings these features to life, our team at Webflow is making sure they're accessible, not just to technical users, but to anyone managing a site on Webflow. This isn't just some back-end upgrade we're doing. It's a shift in power, control, and visibility for every Webflow customer. So Rita, thank you. We're incredibly proud to be building this next generation of hosting and control alongside Cloudflare.
Thank you, Alan.
Thank you, Rita. Everyone, let's give Rita a big round of applause. So we've talked about how we're handling hosting. Check. But for AI to understand and represent your brand, your site's content needs to be structured, available, and understandable to machines. And no one understands those robot friends and machines better than my friends Brett and Guy. Come on up, guys.
Thanks, Alan. You know, something we've always believed at Webflow is that content, it shouldn't just be bolted on after design. It should shape how you build from the start. And that's why our CMS has been natively integrated with our design tools from day one. But now, your content is more important than ever. It's the backbone of how AI models learn about your brand. And in many cases, it's how they speak on behalf of your brand. And with Webflow, thanks to the hosting infrastructure that Rita and Alan just talked about, you don't have to worry how to deliver for both bots and visitors. But there are real challenges that you do have to solve. Your team needs a CMS at the heart of your operation that offers structured, flexible content models. You need to produce more content than ever so that AI can learn about your brand directly from you. And you need to serve that content wherever it's needed, whether that's on your Webflow site or in some other digital experience. And that's why, since last year's Webflow Conf, we've been rebuilding our CMS from the ground up. Today, we're introducing Webflow's next-gen CMS. This is a complete re-architecture designed for an AI-first world. Webflow's next-gen CMS delivers custom data storage and modeling to scale content wherever your business is headed. It delivers massive increases to collection list capabilities so you can bring that content to life in your designs. And it delivers new APIs that let you deploy your content anywhere. So let's break that down. First, let's talk about scaling. Our largest enterprise sites can now scale to over 1 million CMS items, with nearly double the fields per collection, double the reference field per collection, and up to 1 million CMS items per individual collection. Second, let's talk about design. With this launch, we're doubling the number of collection lists you can use per page. And we're increasing nested collection lists per page by another 5x. Plus, we're unlocking multi-level nesting that lets you design up to 3 layers deep with your CMS data, giving you more flexibility to design even richer experiences. And these new design limits aren't just available for enterprise sites. They'll be available to all plans. Okay, third, let's talk delivery. We're also making our content delivery APIs available to all Webflow customers, giving you read-only access to your published CMS content, served through our CDN with caching built for both speed and scale. That means that you can deploy your content to more than just your Webflow sites. And all of this infrastructure sets the stage for even more new capabilities and even more robust APIs yet ahead. So, whether it's for your team or an AI agent pulling from your site, your CMS content can be stored and designed flexibly and served reliably at scale. The next-gen Webflow CMS, including expanded content delivery APIs, will start rolling out to everyone later this year. So, now your content engine is ready to scale for AI-first discovery. But there's still a question that remains. How do we make sure that AI actually finds and amplifies your content? And for that, I'll hand it over to Guy.
Thank you, Brett. It is an honor to be here today. I want to share something with you. I spent a lot of time talking with CMOs, and easily the hottest topic over the last few months has been how our brands are showing up or not showing up in AI search. Unfortunately, we marketers, we are losing control of our brand narrative as LLMs reformulate our carefully differentiated storylines. They will sometimes present bland or just plain wrong descriptions to our prospects. And worse, many of us are seeing a drop in organic traffic. But it's early days in a new medium, and that means there's both threat and opportunity here. And it turns out that traffic from LLMs tends to be further down the funnel than traffic coming from traditional search. You heard Linda earlier say that at Webflow, we're experiencing 6x higher conversion rate from AI traffic compared to SEO traffic. And Ahrefs, a prominent SEO firm, put that number even higher at 23x. At Webflow, we've been thinking hard about how to help our brand and yours achieve our goals in this age of AI search. And we've already built a set of tools to help you take back brand narrative control and drive more traffic. We're gonna announce more today too. But to put this in context, we've all been trying to get our content to rank in Google search for years. And as you know, that's called SEO. With AI search, our goals shift. We now want to appear often and positively when our prospects are asking questions. And that is called AEO, or Answer Engine Optimization. Good AEO, it's actually pretty close to what good SEO always should have been, where genuinely valuable, original content is rewarded. Plus, an increased importance in helping LLMs understand the structure and meaning of our sites. With that as context, I'm going to hand it back to Brett to talk about some of our new AEO announcements today so that all of us can build sites that are AEO ready by default. Brett.
Thanks, Guy. So, to make your site AEO ready by default means that at the heart, you really need two things. One, well-structured pages, and two, robust site management. And today, we're unveiling new tools to help you do both. So, let's dig in. So here, we're looking at our new AI landing page. And it's designed to drive awareness of, well, our AI capabilities. But to do that, it needs to be optimized. And like Guy said, not for just traditional SEO, but for AEO as well. So let's jump into the page settings to do just that. Now, Matthew may be our demo pro, but he is not an AEO expert. Sorry, buddy. But he doesn't need to be, because Webflow AI is built right into the panel. So with just a click, Webflow AI can just scan the page and suggest the right metadata based on what's already been designed and written by you. And this works for CMS collection pages too, using bindings to create structured content across each and every CMS page, all at once. That's right, let's hear for that. Team's been working hard here. But it goes further. Page schema, which has always mattered for SEO, is even more critical for AEO, which is why we've added native support for it in your page settings. And here, Webflow AI also evaluates the page content and recommends the right schema automatically. No more waiting on custom code. And this way, AI engines can understand your site clearly and amplify your brand instead of diluting it. Okay, that's new pages, but what about your existing content? Well, for that, let's jump over to the audit panel. Here, we can see a list of high priority suggestions to better optimize the current page for AEO. For example, this page here happens to have an image that's missing an alt text description. But instead of just flagging the issue, Webflow AI suggests optimized copy I can accept or edit with just a click. But this doesn't just stop at the page level. We're now expanding these capabilities to the site level with site-level audits. Now from the audit panel, I'm identifying and fixing issues across my entire site from a single place. Whether that's missing alt text or missing critical page-level data like schema markup. But as Guy said, AEO is also about the content itself. And a great example of that content that matters is frequently asked questions, or FAQs. And these have quickly become a must-have for AI engines. In fact, as we've been rebuilding our Webflow site, we've found that focusing on scaling FAQs has helped drive AI engine growth. Over half of our new citations by AI engines came from improved FAQs on those pages. And this focus has also helped to grow SEO impressions by more than 20%. And the Webflow AI Assistant can help you optimize your FAQs too. Now, you've been able to do this action before, but it was an in-depth and time-consuming process. Now the Webflow AI Assistant can do things like work across your collections, create new fields, create new items, create the content that goes in them in seconds. So let's go over to the CMS to check out those updates. And we can see here that they've already been created and published, which is great. Now I can focus on play. So whether you're creating new content or you're optimizing existing pages, Webflow makes SEO and AEO best practices effortless. Page-level settings plus our all-new Webflow AI enhancements to the audit panel are in beta now. They'll be available to all customers later next month. Guy, back to you.
Wow, Brett, site-wide auto-generated schema, this is such a big deal. If you only do two things in AEO, you need to answer questions and site-wide schema. We are so excited about these launches. We want the heavy lift of performance, security, structure, and optimization to be done for you so that you can spend time creating sites that genuinely stand out to humans and to machines. Because when your site and content foundations are strong, your team can play more boldly on top of them. Now, getting ready technically for AEO is one part of an AEO strategy. We've been working on an approach to help teams assess where they are in AEO so far and chart a path to taking back brand control and driving more traffic. That framework is called the Webflow AEO Maturity Model. And whether you're optimizing your first few pages or scaling a programmatic content engine, this model can help you understand where your site stands today in terms of AEO and what you need to do to level up in 4 categories: content, tech, authority, and measurement. You can check out this framework on webflow.com and get your own personalized AEO assessment for your site today. We hope it's useful. I'm now going to hand it back over to Alan to wrap up Playbook 2.
All right, thanks, Guy. So, we all just saw how Webflow helps you build strong content foundation in the age of AI. Reed and I showed how our partnership with Cloudflare brings enterprise-grade hosting to every site on Webflow. We took a look at our next-gen CMS, rebuilt from the ground up with massive new scale, expanded design flexibility, and new content delivery APIs. We also saw how Webflow AI will be woven into the CMS to make SEO and AEO best practices effortless across your entire site. Somebody just asked me yesterday for site-wide AEO schema, literally at the happy hour. I was like, just wait. And Guy introduced us to a new Webflow AEO Maturity Model, a framework to help you benchmark your brand's position in the new world of search. Together, these updates will ensure that your content is optimized for AI-driven discovery. So now that we've covered how to be prepared and proactive with the content you create for AI, let's talk about personalization. What if your site didn't just reflect your brand? What if it responded to every visitor in real time? Let's take a look at Playbook 3.
Thank you. To introduce Playbook 3, please welcome Webflow's Chief Revenue Officer, Adrian Rosenkrantz.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. In my role, I think a lot about how every lever, ads, sales, content, come together to drive impact. Now, here's the truth. Your website is where that whole experience either clicks or it breaks. We've seen how Webflow makes collaboration frictionless, unlocking speed and creativity. And we've seen how it secures, structures, and optimizes content so your brand can be amplified safely. But your website can't just be a billboard anymore. To compete today, it has to recognize visitors, welcome them in, guide them. We know bold design grabs their attention, and clear content keeps them engaged. But it's personalization that turns curiosity into conversion. Most teams see tailoring experiences as too complicated or too costly, too risky to play with. And I get it. The first time I tried to get an account-based marketing personalization up and running, it took 6 months to get it to work as expected. We had to hack together a one-to-one IP lookup, and it worked if you were in the right office and make sure you weren't on VPN. And I know a lot has changed since the early days of my career, so please, we do not need to rub that in anymore. But so many teams still lack the tools they need to personalize and play with creative solutions. It's 2025, and marketers can't afford to be stuck in the past. And with AI wedging itself into your funnel, personalized experiences are no longer just nice to haves, because personalization is a multiplier. When your site adapts in real time, every part of your growth engine gets stronger. Ads convert better, sales cycles shorten, feedback loops tighten. But now, we have AI as an accelerator. It translates content so every visitor feels at home. It helps you deliver true one-to-one personalization at scale. It even suggests new experiments grounded in real insights. This isn't just about meeting users' expectations. It's about building momentum. It's about creating space for your teams to play, to test that bold move, to try new ideas, and find out what works. That's how your site becomes the most powerful growth engine in your entire business, and how your teams become more effective. So this playbook is all about turning traffic into growth. And with Webflow personalization, it scales from a one-off tactic into a true growth engine. To show you how, please welcome Jen and Jason.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jen, though most folks around here like to call me Demand Jen. And as you might guess from that name, my job is all about turning, oh, that's interesting, into real demand for Webflow. Because let's be real, right? Attention is cute, clicks are fun, but revenue, that's what pays the bills. So before we dive into personalization, let's first talk about the unsung hero of any website. Say it with me. Forms. I know. In all seriousness, though, if you can't capture a lead, you cannot measure a conversion. So that's why last year we partnered with Cloudflare Turnstile to roll out built-in bot protection for your forms. That translates to no more fake leads from definitely not a scammer 123. We help you filter out the junk, we verify for real humans, and we keep the process smooth so that your visitors don't bounce. And this year we're leveling it up. First, we're adding a spam inbox so that you can actually review and recover flagged submissions. Additionally, we're enabling form-level settings that put you in the driver's seat for notifications. And coming soon, you'll also have the ability to customize webhooks and spam thresholds on a per-form basis. The result for you is cleaner data, fewer headaches, and a way clearer sense of what's actually working. Or not working, which is just as important. These updates are in beta now and will roll out to everyone later this year. So then we can get ready to ghost those bots in style. Now to my absolute favorite part, and that's seeing how people actually move through your website. Because you can't just sprinkle in personalization here and there and hope for the best. You need to know exactly where momentum builds and where it's falling flat. That's where Webflow Analyze comes in. We launched Analyze last year, and since then, we've made some pretty serious updates. We recently introduced an entirely new set of behavioral data directly into the Webflow canvas. You can think of it as the next generation of Webflow Analyze, where analysis takes action directly inside of Webflow. Let's take a look together. All right, first, let's pull up the microsite for this year's Webflow Conf, and we'll pop open the Insights tab. The top-line data that we're seeing here, it's fine, but let's be honest, it does not tell the whole story. So here's the fun part, and that's click activity, which is directly overlaid on the canvas, which means, boom, instant clarity on which CTAs are pulling their weight. And with one toggle, I can also layer on a scroll map to see exactly how far people are making it down the page. But we didn't stop there. Now we've added interactive click maps. Let's open the mobile nav dropdown. You'll see that the overlay updates instantly so that you can see how visitors are engaging with hidden components. It's kind of like having X-ray vision for your website. But again, engagement alone does not pay the bills. So that's why we're adding goal reporting. Now, when I set a goal like register for Webflow Conf, I can do more than just track it across time. I can see conversion rates, top performing pages, which ones are flopping, and which traffic sources are bringing in the best visitors. And speaking of traffic sources, AI referrals are now their own category. So if someone lands on your site from, let's say, ChatGPT, Claude, or Perplexity, you can see it, you can compare it, and now you can optimize for it. Because robots are driving traffic now too. So that's what's new with Webflow Analyze. It's powerful content analytics right inside of Webflow, available now as an add-on across all site plans. And coming later this month, all Analyze customers can access new insights into the performance of AI-referred traffic, plus goal reporting, which will enable you to set and track conversion goals across your entire site. Altogether, these updates aren't just about seeing what happened, they help you see the why. So for CROs like Adrian, that's clarity. For teams like mine, that's leverage. And for anyone proving ROI to a boss, a board, or a budget committee, this is pure gold. When you can connect traffic to revenue, that's when the magic really happens. And on that note, let's talk about turning these insights into tangible business value with Webflow Optimize and my friend Jason.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jason, and I'm thrilled to be here. As Jen showed, Webflow Analyze can give you clarity, and Optimize helps you act on it. We launched Optimize at last year's Conf, giving teams 3 superpowers: running A/B tests directly inside Webflow, personalizing experiences for different audiences, and delivering true one-to-one personalization at scale with AI Optimize. Since then, we've made Optimize even stronger, with features like redirect tests, enterprise reporting, and locale-based optimization, just to name a few. The result is a platform that's faster, smarter, and easier to use across your entire site. And today, I'm so excited to share what's next, because Webflow AI is now built directly into Optimize. With AI, you don't have to start from scratch when you're deciding what to test. You can partner with AI to transform insights, like the ones that Jen just showed, into new experiments in just minutes. We're calling it AI optimization suggestions. And let's see it in action. Let's say that we open up the demo site again for Webflow Conf. Now, I know I need to run a test, but where should I start? Inside Optimize, when I go to make a new optimization, I can now choose to use AI. I can see a few strategies to choose from, and AI is going to help me make it happen. Let's choose to make the headlines a little more value-driven. AI is going to scan the page to understand my brand voice and the existing content. It's then going to generate on-brand variations for me to review, and I'll be able to pick the ones that I like and also make tweaks to get them just right. Let's see. It came up with some good ones. I really like reimagine what's possible for your digital future. Let's select that one. And lead the change where visionaries build tomorrow's web. I think that one could have a little more enthusiasm. Could you add some exclamation marks, Matthew? AI is still learning how to make things pop. Now that I have multiple new ideas to get the test started, let's have Optimize just spin them up. They're ready to launch, and I've gone from I'm not sure what to test to having an optimization live in record time. But it doesn't stop there. AI is going to keep working under the hood when visitors come to my site, matching the right variation to the right visitor. To show you how that works, our team has actually been testing our own headlines on the live Webflow Conf page. So let's take a look and see what worked best. It looks like where web design evolves and elevate your digital game didn't go so great. But the variations that mention AI, they seem to be doing a lot better. In fact, the performance of Shape the AI-driven web, I like that one. It seems so strong, I think we should promote it to the base site. Now Optimize supports a one-click apply a winner to the base site without any additional work. It's available today to all Optimize customers. It's that easy. Of course, all this goes beyond just testing. We've also integrated Webflow AI directly into our targeting stack. We heard from Guy and Linda earlier that visitors from generative AI are further down the funnel and more likely to convert. We can now target those visitors directly in Optimize and change the messaging just for them. It's as easy as creating an audience and selecting generative AI as the traffic source. And because it's built into Optimize, you can layer in additional targeting data to dial in the audience just right. You know, Matthew, let's layer in some geo-targeting for the New York metro area. Because I think New Yorkers coming to our site from generative AI are going to convert super fast, even faster than they can order a bacon, egg, and cheese. It's proof that in addition to making pages more relevant, playing with personalization can just be fun. And that's really the power of Webflow Optimize. Analyze informs, AI sparks a new idea, and Optimize tests and delivers. And your visitors feel like the site was built just for them. When every visitor feels seen, momentum builds, conversions rise, and your website stops being static and becomes a true growth engine. Everything that I shared today, AI optimization suggestions, apply a winner to base, and generative AI traffic sources, they're all available now for Optimize customers. Yeah, let's give the team a hand. It's really exciting. And to wrap up this playbook, let's welcome back Adrian.
All right, thanks, Jason, and thank you, Jen. And Matthew, thank you for the help today with all the amazing demos. Thank you so much. We've just seen how adapting your site in real time at scale can turn traffic and attention into real growth. With the right insights, experiments, and AI-powered tools, your website doesn't just grab attention, it converts it into real business outcomes. And we believe this is so important that we're not just keeping Webflow Optimize inside the walls of Webflow. The power of Webflow Optimize is now available to everyone on the web. Whether your site is on Webflow or elsewhere, you can use Optimize to personalize, experiment, and grow. Dermalogica is such a great example of this. Their site is built on Shopify. But when they needed to scale and experiment with personalization, they turned to Webflow Optimize. With it, they've been able to launch targeted campaigns, run experiments across their funnel, and drive real growth globally. That's the power of this playbook, because personalization isn't just a one-off tactic. It's a growth strategy. And with Optimize, every team on every platform can put it into practice. Let's see how Dermalogica did it.
Before Webflow Optimize, we were probably making as many bad decisions as good decisions. We were like flying in the dark. I'm Aurelian Lees. I'm the global CEO of Dermalogica. Dermalogica is a professional skincare business. We were looking for tools to improve the way we built our website. I was very much drawn to Webflow with this idea of continuous conversion tests. This idea that it's not winner takes all, but making sure that whatever cards have been shuffled, that the best card is in the front, right? For the person who's watching it, the best card. Some of these major, actually quite very substantial investments that we then made in the business were enabled by Webflow. You know, we wanted to know whether or not we should be investing in the tooling of making a 2-ounce bottle versus a 1-ounce bottle. And so before doing that, you know, we mocked up some versions and we used Webflow very quickly to be able to say, like, how many people would buy that? Is it resonating with customers? We used to have 2 warehouses. I had this idea that actually I wanted to have many more warehouses in the US so we could get to consumers faster. But before we did that, we were like, does our consumer care? Do we want to make that multi-million-dollar investment? You know, and it was a number of Webflow tests that actually led us and made us understand that it wasn't necessarily the speed of delivery, but actually the biggest uptake was like the certainty of delivery. Those sort of insights then let us build the network, which we do. So now we have a network of 5 different warehouses. Dermalogica is known for its professional skincare expertise. We don't want to be a site where we're just listed, as somebody goes, picks it and goes. Our products are more complicated than that. I think what we're seeing more of is what I call profound personalization. This idea that I want to have different segments of audiences and I need to talk to them differently between men and women, or between preventative and reparative skincare. That's a big deal and a very big difference in the words you would use, the benefits you tout. Now, personalization, which means just putting somebody's name in the top left-hand corner or something, is a bit insulting, actually. Real personalization is you know what's different, right? And that built in with statistical significance. That's the reason that we went to Webflow. It's the audience personas of the future.
And now, please welcome to the stage Webflow co-founder Vlad Magdalene.
Thanks, guys. I'm here to talk to you about how I optimize my skincare routine based on that video. No, it's so freaking amazing to be here with all of you this week. And since we're in New York City, I honestly thought about starting off with a really bad Subway dad joke. But then I thought about it and realized that it might take us a little bit too off track. I'm not gonna do that. What I actually want to talk about and start off with is just a tremendous sense of gratitude for all of you. The designers, developers, freelancers, agencies, marketers, founders, maybe even dad joke aficionados. You are truly the heartbeat of Webflow. When Sergi, Bryant, and I started Webflow, we never thought that our tiny little endeavor to reimagine how websites are built would create such a vibrant community. And it's been the honor of a lifetime to see so many of you build careers, launch entire businesses, and shape the future of the web right alongside our team. And being in a room yesterday with over 100 of our top partners and hundreds of you on this rooftop just highlighted how far this community and ecosystem have come. And you have pushed us every step of the way. Over the last decade, you've shared thousands of product ideas and requests. You flagged probably thousands of bugs that we didn't catch and challenged us to dream even bigger. And for that, our entire team and I are incredibly, incredibly grateful. But I want to be real with you. We know we could be doing so much more to support the people who built this movement alongside us. And I'm proud to say that this year, we're taking really meaningful steps forward. Because this community isn't just part of the Webflow story. You are the Webflow story. And it's on us to do a better job of recognizing, uplifting, and investing in all of you. So, let's talk about what we're doing right now. First, we're investing in more ways for all of you to connect. We know it's still tough to find each other and all the information that you need to be successful in Webflow. But by the end of this year, we're launching a new community home base. It's going to be a central hub with resources, discussions, events, and role-specific spaces where you can go deeper. Whether you're working on your first client project, building developer tools, or leading a team at a Fortune 500 company. And actually, let's give that a round of applause. And many of you know our Global Leaders Program, the group of over 50 incredible ambassadors who host meetups across the world, many of which are watching us right now. This year, we're going even bigger with this program. We're relaunching it with new application process, better onboarding, and ongoing support through more content, discussion, and deep mentorship. All of this will make it easier for the Webflow community to build, grow, connect, and thrive, no matter where you are in the world. Next, we're expanding opportunities to play with the future of Webflow itself. Later this year, more of you will be able to get hands-on to upcoming features in a new beta release program. And we're doubling down on the importance of education and craft with investments in our amazing Webflow University. Actually, a round of applause for Webflow University. How many people are in this room because of what our team does? So far in 2025, our team has launched our first industry-recognized certification program. We've rolled out new persona-based learning tracks, and we've introduced guided pathways to help freelancers land clients, agencies train their teams, and developers deepen their skills even further. But we're not stopping there. Over the next year, you'll see new hands-on experiences and workshops to help you integrate AI into all of your daily workflows. That means faster design, more creativity, and more time to, you guessed it, play. Thank you. Finally, we're doing more of our beloved community challenges where give us the chance to celebrate your incredible, inspiring creativity. We started recently with a 4-week GSAP challenge. And then the Webflow Interactions Challenge, where we asked all of you to show us your vision for the future of the web. I don't know how many of you saw these, but talk about a sense of play. The submissions to this challenge were truly mind-blowing. And congrats again to our incredible finalists, Aaron Rudick, Jan Paveo, and Felixander Yuan. And, drumroll please, congrats to our winner, Victor Work, who's actually here with us today. I don't know where you are. Victor, can you stand up or raise? Woo! There we go. Huge props. Can't wait to grab lunch together later today, Victor. And seriously inspired by your work. And on October 22nd, we're launching our biggest community challenge yet. With our friends at Contra, one of the largest professional networks for independent creatives. We're putting up $50,000 in total prizes on the line, including a $25,000 grand prize for the winner. And through Contra, your work will be showcased to thousands of potential clients and future collaborators. It's all part of our effort to enable career-defining moments for all of you, with the same agencies and freelancers who who built this movement with our team. That's why we're also making updates to our marketplace. For those of you who are template creators, we're raising your commissions to 95%. So now Webflow will only collect the 5% required to operate our global payout system, and you will keep all of the profit. That's huge. That's huge. For template creators, we're also opening up opportunities to sell on external platforms. And these are all changes designed so that when you create with Webflow, you earn more, while contributing to this living ecosystem that helps all of us grow. So that's what's new in community, and there's a lot more ahead. And I just want to say, again, that this community is truly, truly at the heart of everything we do at Webflow. And I'm so grateful to be even a tiny part of all of this with you. Thank you, thank you. How about a round of applause for all of you who make this community so special? All right, now we're gonna shift gears a little bit and take a quick look back at everything that we've covered. So we started with Linda and Rachel, grounding us in today's challenges and our vision for what's ahead. We talked about how AI is reshaping discovery, how it sits between you and your customers, and why play and creativity are becoming a huge competitive edge. Then we talked through 3 playbooks of strategies and tools that your teams need to meet this moment and to prepare for what's next. First, bold design. We saw big updates to Webflow AI, including the new AI assistant to handle the basics so you have more time to play. We showed how Webflow clears collaboration drag with real-time collaboration, rolling out to all customers later this year. We also shared improvements to commenting, coming very soon. We saw how interactions with GSAP unlock stunning motion in Webflow, with new controls like breakpoints, page scoping, and reduced motion support. And we introduced the component canvas, arriving later this year, to give teams a dedicated space to build and manage their design systems. Plus, we unveiled code components, which I'm really excited about, powered by DevLink, making it easier to bring custom React components right into Webflow. Then we shifted from design to content. Alan and Rita showed how our Cloudflare partnership brings enterprise-grade speed, security, and reliability to every Webflow site. And Brett introduced our next-gen CMS, rebuilt for an AI-first world, scaling to millions of items, expanding design flexibility, and opening access to content delivery APIs. We showed how Webflow AI is now woven into the CMS to generate the audit SEO data, including site-wide schema, in just a few clicks. And Guy introduced the Webflow AEO Maturity Model, a framework to help you advance your strategy for answer engine optimization. And finally, personalization. We announced new form management features, including spam inbox and new form level settings. We also saw the next evolution of Webflow Analyze, with visual analytics like click maps, scroll maps, and goal tracking. Plus, a new view of AI referrals as their own traffic source. Then we came back to Webflow Optimize, now even more powerful, with AI-generated optimization suggestions and personalization at scale. That's a lot, right? Linda, do you want to get back up here and help us close out?
Thanks, Vlad. Glad to be back. Before we close out, I wanted to take a quick minute to thank our sponsors. So, to our Platinum, Gold, and Silver sponsors, Creative Corner Studio, Silversmith Capital Partners, N4, Veza Digital, MemberStack, Lottie Files, Clark Code, and Perpetual, thank you so, so, so much. We could not have put on Webflow Conf without you.
And thank you to our live stream Stream sponsor Typeform, whose support made it possible for thousands of you to join us from all across the world. And a very special thank you to Edgar Allen and Active Campaign, who are joining us live in New York today. So make sure to visit their teams in the Expo Hall. Let's give all of our amazing sponsors a huge, huge round of applause. Also, I want to personally take the time to thank the entire Webflow team for their incredibly hard work for everything that you saw up there. Why don't you give them a huge round of applause?
Glad. We're not done yet, though. Isn't there one more thing?
Actually, I think there's more than one.
I think you're right.
You guys remember earlier when Kev introduced code components? That way of bringing React components into Webflow powered by DevLane?
I sure do.
I knew you'd react that way. Well, code components are super powerful if you have a developer on your team to help you build them. But as most of you know, our goal and our mission since day one has been to provide development superpowers to everyone.
That's right. So, Matthew, where are you? Can you come back up on stage?
While Matthew gets back up here, thanks to Webflow AI, we're able to extend the same superpowers that we've historically unlocked for front-end development to designers and marketers too. Introducing AI-generated code components. All right, with Matthew's help, let's ask the AI assistant to help us create a more engaging pricing section on Dataway's page. We'll give it a prompt, and we'll wait for the AI assistant to do its thing, which, like most CodeGen tools, can take a minute. Let's see. If this takes too long, I'm gonna jump into a lot of music puns. This Wi-Fi connection kind of sucks. I don't know. While it's working, yeah, maybe a little interlude. Thank you, band. All right, come on, AI. It's thinking. All right, there we go. So there we have it. A brand new React-powered pricing section with a toggle for monthly versus annual pricing and a slider to help customers understand which plan they should pick. And just like with code components, you'll be able to edit your props and make customizations right here in the designer. Isn't that awesome? And AI-generated code components will be available early next year. But we have one more thing to add to that.
Absolutely. Earlier this year, we introduced Webflow Cloud, a new way for more technical teams to host web apps alongside their Webflow sites. And it's all powered by that best-in-class Cloudflare hosting that Alan and Rita talked about earlier.
It's one of my favorite updates we've made in Webflow in a long time because it expanded what Webflow can do. And I love that we're doubling down on improvements for developers.
So with Webflow Cloud, we've seen some amazing use cases from teams consolidating their hosting infrastructure and driving needle-moving experiences, all right within Webflow. From web apps that power booking engines like this one by Yellowbird, to this pricing calculator by Nursa, or TurboHome's listing site. Let's see how a non-developer can do something like this in Webflow.
All right, super excited about this. Here, when Matthew pulls this up, you can see a new App Gen tab in Webflow. And once you're here, you can tell the AI assistant all about the web app you want to build for your Webflow-powered site. So Matthew asked the AI assistant to help us build a calendar that lists all the meetups and events hosted by Dataway's team. We want the assistant to generate a monthly calendar view, a new page, that pulls in details from the event collection in the actual CMS. And when a user clicks on an event on that calendar view, they should land on a new page that shows the event title, description, event date, and a link to add it to their Google Calendar dynamically. And we want it added to our site nav component as well. Now, I think once he's hit generate, we're going to see that the AI assistant starts to build and write code in real time. And again, like most code gen tools, this might take a few minutes, so we might need a little bit of the band's help in a second. But Linda, while that's going on, do you want to tell us a bit more about it?
Sure thing, Vlad. So all the apps that are generated by Webflow AI on our platform will be automatically hosted on Webflow Cloud and built in Astro. So for those of you who don't know, Astro is the leading framework for content-driven sites, and we absolutely love it for its performance with these kinds of builds. In fact, our team is so excited about Astro that we've become official Astro partners, and we're now sponsors of their open source project. So give it up to Astro.
How are we looking over there? All right, it's going. I mean, you can see the AI assistant like literally coding and doing its thing. It's spun up a dedicated sandbox, a virtual machine just for your site and for this new app. And it's using the design system that's already in this Webflow site, pulling from our library of components, connecting directly to the variables that exist, and connecting to the live CMS collections and data that's on the site. This creates the foundation for a truly, truly production-grade app hosted right on your Webflow domain. Is it cooking? Still cooking?
Still cooking.
All right. Yes, it's done.
Oh,
it's telling us everything that it did, like a very verbose. Boom! There you have it. We have a live view of a monthly calendar that we asked for, powered by React. All of Dataway's elements have been added from the CMS, or events have been added from the CMS, using the components they already had on the site. If you click through, Matthew, if you go to like preview mode and click through to an event, the AI assistant built these detail pages. From here, you can add it directly. Like if you click on, does that work? It works.
Google Calendar.
Seriously, can you imagine how much time that would have taken to code? And all we have to do, if we want to now deploy this, is click deploy. And this app will be posted on Webflow Cloud on Dataway's custom domain that's already in Webflow. So this is literally prompt to production in the environment that you're already working. These types of apps, they're not just prototypes. In less than a few minutes, we went from this incredible tiny prompt to having a production website. And that's just incredible. And it leveraged Dataway's design system, connected to their CMS, and published to their domain. How about that? Thank you, Matthew.
We love live demos. And of course, vibe coding can create more opportunities for play, sometimes literally. So in true Webflow fashion, our team has been playing with this new feature a lot. And here's one of my favorite apps. And this one's called Rat Dash. And it was built by one of our product designers, Braden Love.
Ooh, go Matthew.
Matt loves this game. And so he's actually gotten quite good at it.
Yes.
Well done, Matt. So that's code gen for web apps. And this gets me so pumped. Because while a lot of code gen tools are great for prototyping, the ability to take those vibes and scale them into a fully functioning site is nearly impossible. But by bringing code gen into a platform as established as Webflow, you don't just get vibes, you get production-grade products that are so much more powerful. And we're aiming to get this in your hands early next year. So the ability to generate code to build web apps is currently in beta, but you can sign up later today, and we'll add you as soon as we expand access. Okay, Matthew, you're officially good to go now. Let's give Matthew a round of applause.
Thank you, Matthew.
Okay, so to recap one more time, earlier this year, we introduced Webflow Cloud as a way for more technical teams to consolidate their web apps, powering their web experiences, all hosted on Webflow alongside their site. And you just got a sneak peek at how we're going to make building code components and web apps accessible to everyone with the AI assistant. And now, that is everything we announced today.
Thank you, Linda. Thank you, Matthew. And thanks to all of you. Whether you're here with us in New York City or watching from all across the world. The entire Webflow team is so excited to spend the next 2 days connecting with you all and being inspired by everything you're doing. So, let's play.
Play.
Thanks, everyone.